Guess who's pregnant? I'll tell you at the end of this video.
Stay tuned to find out.
'Cause I love it, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I love it, yeah, yeah.
So today we're talking about motherhood. In light of one of us being with child, we're going to talk about what we want to be as mothers in the future and our experiences with our own mothers and choices we might make that are different or the same as ones our parents made with us.
First off, how many kids do you want, Bella?
At minimum, 3. At maximum, 12.
Okay. Jess, how many do you want?
I want 6 and ideally like 4 biological and adopt 2.
Okay. Lily?
See, I wanted 3, but I know that my husband is going to get 4 at the least.
He's going to get them.
He'll get 4 at least.
He's gonna get them.
He doesn't know how, but he'll get them somehow.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, I want minimum of 5 or 6, and it's just once you have them, just go until you can't no mo.
Can't no more. What is
Can't
that?
no
Is
mo.
that
Oh,
like
yeah,
your,
no
your
mo.
phrase? No mo.
Can't no mo. Jess, what do you, when you picture being a mom, what are like 2 or 3 rules that you know that you're going to instill?
Church every single Sunday. It is not optional until you're 18. Then I can't really control you. I will be for young marriages and I won't hold them back.
Wait, so you say every single Sunday. Are there going to be exceptions, like if you go on vacation or if like a kid is sick?
Yeah, if you're
like that.
sick or like on vacation, that's an exception. But if
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm too tired, it's
Yeah.
not happening.
Too tired is not it's
That's
not
not
an
an
excuse. Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Um,
honest with you, not to interrupt, but I have a rebuttal. I don't agree with
wait,
that.
Me
I
too.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was going to have a rebuttal too.
I don't agree with that. I think
Go ahead.
I just don't think I think that sometimes in some cases that can almost harbor like a hatred for church. And I know that in my case it did.
Mhm.
Like when it's like you're going to church whether you like it or not, like, and it's not an option no matter what, like that just makes the kid despise going to church, or it can.
Yeah.
And that's what
Fair.
it did for me. It's like I understand that, being tired may not be a good excuse, and it certainly is not a good excuse. And like every time my kid says they're tired, am I just going to be like, sure, you don't have to go to church today? Absolutely not. But there are cases where like, hey, like you got 4 hours of sleep last night. Like I understand you're tired. Like we can, you can stay home from church day, or you're not feeling up to it. Like every now and then. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Like
And also, I know in our family, it's never been a forced thing, because when it's forced, it becomes more like a religion than a
yeah, and
relationship.
it becomes a chore.
It becomes a chore, and I think that yes, there should be that we should train up our children to want to go to church every week. But I think making it a rule and you're forced to go to church, whether you fully believe in God at your stage of life or not, like it makes it something that you feel stuck in. And I don't want my children to feel stuck in a religion and not have the relationship. So I think I would want to focus on like learning how to raise my children to have their own relationship with the Lord, and then they therefore want to go to church every week.
Would you ever, like, if a kid was like, hey, I'm really tired, I really just need to sleep, can I stay home from church? Would you ever, like, say, okay, yeah, you can do that, just kind of replace it with something else, like maybe read your Bible for 10 minutes, or like,
Yeah.
kind of,
or
yeah.
honestly, a lot of churches live stream their services. So
Mhm.
you want to stay home, that's fine. Like you can watch it from home.
Yeah.
And again, this is not a replacement for church, but every now and then, like I get
Right,
it.
because the
I'm-
fellowship is important as well.
yes, like we're all human. There are going to be days where like you don't want to get up and get ready at, a lot of us work. If my teenager has a job and worked a bunch that week and like just wants one night where they can sleep in, like, yeah, every now and then I get it. Stay home, you can watch it from home. Like we're only human. We can only do so much.
Mhm.
So
I think
I get that.
Yeah, I think it's also about like really knowing your child and having a conversation with them. Like, okay, is that really why you want to stay home from church?
That's so
Is there something deeper going on? Are you questioning your faith? Are you doubting God? Is somebody speaking into your life negatively about Christianity, and causing you to not want to be a part of it? So yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of conversation, I think, that goes along with that.
I don't necessarily agree, but I also don't disagree. I'm obviously not for forcing religion. I mean, that's not how someone can create a relationship with Jesus.
But setting the expectation that God is first and you shouldn't
Yes.
quit on him because you're tired.
Yeah, I am not. I'm going to be very stern. That's like, yes, if you're tired, then church is not the thing to take out of your schedule. If you are too tired by the end of the week because you are working and you're in school, then don't work on Saturdays. You're going to be at church on Sundays. That should be a priority. And of course, like, if you're too tired because you're sick or there was something really important, a family matter that happened that you couldn't control, that's different. But if it's a reoccurring theme that's like twice a month or even once a month is like, I can't go to church because, I'm working on Saturday nights and I'm too tired to get up in the morning, then don't work Saturday nights.
Yeah, and I think that was going back to what Bella said about you really just have to know your kid. Like, you have to know if they're being disingenuous. Like, do you really, like, want to skip because you're tired, or do you want to skip because you want to skip? Like,
Right.
So obviously that's very important, and, you can't speak to that until you have children, for sure, for certain.
And again, I want to say I'm not for forcing, but also I know that in so many like stories of testimonies, like even in my own, I didn't want to go to church for a very long time. My parents forced me to still go. And in fact, them forcing me one day to go to church is the day that I got saved. So I'm iffy when it's like, you can't force the relationship. That's true. But I don't know. I guess that's just a circumstantial kind of thing, like trusting in God that, it won't be a forced relationship, because that's not what I'm trying to create. But at the same time, my parents forcing me to go to church is legitimately what made me snap out of it. So, I don't know.
Being around that culture definitely is helpful to being closer to God. It's just being surrounded by people who are on fire for the Lord or who are talking about it. It just kind of, maybe it does force you to hear it. Maybe it does force you to listen, but it's, at the end of the day, you hear it. And if God softens your heart, you will be open to listening. But it depends on if your heart is soft or hardened. And it all depends on when God is ready for you to hear that.
Right. And once they're out of the house, it's like, I can't do anything about it anymore. Then that's entirely into God's hands. But when I am the mother of them, parents, I'm like, I'm not the head of the household, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a leader for them. I feel like it's my responsibility to really, like, this sounds bad, but like drill it that, God should be a priority. It's not good enough to just skip church because you're too tired. And I think too, like, going to church on Sunday is not the main source of where they should be hearing about God and like learning about the Bible and worshiping.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really hard to force a relationship with Jesus for them if they're already getting so much of Jesus at home and already starting to build that relationship at a really young age. So you're right. I think it's circumstantial, and I think it's also just heavily on how you grow them up and what you do in your day-to-day life that's outside of church.
Right. And also you have to live by example. So if your kids see mom and dad worshiping God and putting him first, and like he's the center of their marriage and like center of the home, the kids are going to look at that and go, oh, wow, okay, like this is, I see the goodness, I see why they put him first. Yeah, the fruits, rather than if, mom and dad are fighting again, but they say God is the center of their marriage, but like it's a bad fight or like something like that. Or, oh, mom and dad say that they, like will love us unconditionally, but they say these things to us, or like just kind of, if you're you're saying, oh, have the fruit of the spirit, but then you're like being rude or mean or like unkind to others or talking bad about people behind their back. Oh, but they say not to gossip because that's what God wants. Or I don't know. It's just kind of, you have to live by example because your kids will see you and they will copy you. They will see everything.
That's a huge pressure as a parent to be like, I have to be so right with God, which I want to be, but like so that my children go to heaven one day, I need to be so focused on my relationship with God that I am living for him 100% and I am not living in sin and passing that on to my children, because that would break my heart to in the future my children being grown up and either walking away from the Lord completely or just really struggling with a certain sin pattern, bringing them down a bad path that it came from me. Like that's just a heartbreaking thing. So not to be all depressing and negative, but like we can break those sin patterns and we can fight against that, and prayer is so powerful. But yeah, it's really a large job to be a parent and do it in a biblical way.
What are some things that like your parents did that you don't want to copy, like when you're parenting?
There's a few.
Go for it.
I'll make these short and sweet. Addiction. I'll leave that there. Another one I would say is letting someone, their children, be who they are without feeling ashamed of their personality. That sounds a little woke. That's not okay. Let me give you an example. I am I am very loud. So I don't even know how to describe myself, but I feel a lot. all the
Giggly,
time.
bubbly, and happy and giddy.
She has the joy of the Lord, and she translates to thinking that she has too big of a personality.
I grew up feeling like I was too much of a person, and there would be times where I'd be laughing a lot, and I would be told, "Why are you laughing so much? It's not that funny. You're embarrassing yourself." And it's things like that that are made me grow up feeling like I couldn't be who I was in front of people because I'd be seen as too much or embarrassing, or like people didn't necessarily want to be around me because I was too much. And so I don't want my kids to feel that way. I want them to be able to laugh when they need to, cry when they need to. I could never do those things. And so that's really important to me. And side note, yelling.
That's a huge one.
I like now, because I was yelled at so much unnecessarily. I am like so hyper aware of when people change their tones around me or like even like start to raise their voice at me, that I just like when someone yells at me or raises their voice or changes their tone, my immediate want is to just cry. I don't know why, but well, I do know why. I just told you because that's what happened to me. So I really want to be the mother that is very good at, even when they're angry, not losing their cool. Yeah.
So I guess I have two big ones that are very important to me that I want to make sure I fix before I have children. One is that my family was so not affectionate at all. No, never saying I love you, no hugs, no kisses, no nothing. And so like when I left the house, it was so weird to me that like all my friends told me they loved me before like we went home, or like my friends would hug me, and I was like, what's going on, like what is this? And it was so unnatural to me, and I want to make sure that like in my home it's like so normal that we just love each other and we just show our love to each other all of the time, and like especially that me and my husband are very affectionate in front of our children. So that's a really big one. And then the other one is also just anger control. Like back to what Jess said, just I need to be able to, I feel like I picked up a little bit from my childhood. Like I am quick to anger, and that's obviously really bad when you want to have kids. So like I want to make sure that I punish my children in love and not anger, and I'm able to like remove myself from situations if I'm feeling like overwhelmed or like out of control, so that when I go back to my kids I can speak to them respectfully, because kids are deserving of respect. And I never got that as a kid, so definitely a huge one is you know, you have to show your children that you love them, and that's why you're punishing them, and not that you're punishing them because you're mad at them or don't like them or whatever.
There, even like just out of simple repetitiveness, I remember growing up, every time we would get spankings, before and after, my mom and dad would be very repetitive and that, you know, I love you. I'm doing this because I love you, because I don't want you to go down this pattern of whatever thing we just did that was bad or wrong. And so, and then it was, you know, always hugging them after, like they just beat our behinds, but then it's a hug and it's I love you. I love you too, Mom. It's reiterating, yes, I just felt pain, and the pain just came from my own parents, but then they just told me that they love me. So it's like it's weird, but it works. It really does beat the sin out of you, but then it also really like I know why they did it, and I knew why they did it from a very young age, because they were very like quick to always say I love you. You know I love you. I'm doing this because I love you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, let's talk about spanking, I guess, and like how everybody feels about that, because like obviously I would love if my kids were so well behaved that they didn't need to be spanked.
Yeah.
And like growing up with spanking, like where it was abused in the household and like not used appropriately, like I don't want to do that to my kids, but also I understand that the Bible says not to spare the rod, and like some kids do need that.
Yeah.
So I think we will
Let's talk
have
about
in
it.
our household. Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I was spanked. I never had like a wooden spoon or anything. I just had the hand, and it was my mom who usually did it. My dad would do it sometimes, but my mom was really the one home and who was the one who disciplined us. And she, whenever we were in trouble, she would take us, bend us over, pull down our pants, like hit us 3 times where it hurt, like it was a sting, but it didn't leave a mark. It wasn't anything. It was more to scare us because we were girls, so it wasn't as bad. I think it's different for boys, but for girls, you only need that, and you're done. And then afterwards, she would explain to us why what we did was wrong, and she would talk about it with us until like making us understand. And I'm sure there was little things like, you know, I'm doing it for your good or because I love you. But even if it wasn't, I knew her intent was because I did something wrong. This is my punishment. It's my fault. It's not hers.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it'd be fine after that. But with my kids, I plan to also have spankings. I'm not sure that Sam and I have talked about doing like wooden spoons or anything, but I know that probably with the boys we'll have to be a little bit more,
The belt.
you know. Yeah. Well, I don't know about
my
the belt,
gosh.
but yeah, just more
Spiked
harsh
bat.
with boys than with girls, because girls are a little softer, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And also they're scared into it. I'm almost done, I promise. But what I want differently, because my dad didn't really spank me as much as my mom did. My mom was the sole like big discipliner, and if my dad yelled at me, I would cry or whatever, but that's because he never would do it. With our kids, I want Sam to be very much more involved than my dad was with me, because that just kind of makes it, my parents are a united front. And I knew that my mom and dad were united, but I saw a lot more of my mom than I ever did my dad. Like in the discipline, in the like the talking, in the spiritual, like just all of it, I saw a lot more mom than I did dad, because I was a girl and she's a girl, and my dad was like, off doing his thing. Yeah.
One quick note, I
Okay.
am all for spanking, but off of that, for some reason, I just want Jordan to be the primary spanker.
Yeah, that was talked about with me and Kyle too. Like, I don't know that I want to be the one spanking our children, just because of like how it happened to me.
Right,
And
yeah.
so like it's something that he's for, and I'm like, I'm there, like I get it, but I'm still like, I would really rather not. So I think he's gonna be the main, like,
Yeah, the main one, like wait till dad gets home type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, if they're doing something wrong, they're getting a spanking, and then later they'll have to talk to dad. And I will give the spanking. If dad is home, they're getting a spanking with dad there.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, I'll go get him and say, hey, this kid just did this. Got to deal with it. Okay, whack. But
So
no abuse.
I agree, but I also kind of disagree. I don't know. I have a hard time imagining myself spanking my child, because I as a mom, we're the nurturers. We are the ones who love and make sure that our children are happy and cared for and not in pain. And so being the one to inflict pain, even though it's a disciplinary kind of pain, I think that really goes against our nature. And like, I don't know, for okay, maybe it's just me personally.
No, I agree with you.
Okay. So and maybe it's also based on how you're raised. Maybe it's different for you because your mom did do a lot of the spanking, but it just really, for me, it's like that would be really hard for me to be the one to do that. So yes, I would if my child's getting spanked, I would probably have my husband do it.
I would fear that the kid wouldn't respect me. Like, I know that, like, obviously they will learn to respect me whether they like it or not, but if, like, it's like, dad's not going to be home for 5 hours and mom doesn't spank me, so if I just do something wrong, she can't hurt me and I won't get hurt for 5 hours and I'll just be able to, be a little turd.
But also, I wonder if there's a way that, it can be so solidified that if I disrespect mom, dad's coming.
True,
Yeah.
which will be the case, absolutely.
And no, go ahead.
Sorry. Also, I think it's like, but this kind of goes against what I said earlier, but like I think it's important that when the child is naughty, that they get like immediate discipline.
Right.
So there should be no like, at least this is what I believe, but like there should be no wait till dad gets home in 5 hours, because when he gets spanked 5 hours later,
You forget what you did because you're a
so
kid.
I think there should be immediate like punishment. So it's tough. It's gonna be tough to figure out, because like I might end up having when you're the one
Right.
that's home, like you might end up having to be the one, and that's just how it has to be. Like
And it can be just like a quick little, like, okay, just a quick little smack on the butt, go to your room. We'll talk in a little bit, talk to them, say you're going to take something away, and you're going to talk to dad when you get home, and he gets to give his own punishment. But this is the punishment for now, like, type thing. I was going to ask another question, but I forgot now.
Well, I had something to add on. Just I never really actually like spoke to if I would spank my children. I think something that I learned from myself growing up and then my siblings, it depends on the child.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, I remember like twice ever getting spanked. I'm sure I got spanked more than that. I remember twice, and then I remember a third time where I asked for grace because I was so terrified of it. And I was given grace because I asked for it, and I was so young and I somehow understood what grace meant. But still, I did, and I was given grace, and I did not get spanked, and I think I still understood I did something wrong, whatever. But for me, whether it's because I'm a girl or because I'm just more sensitive to discipline than someone like Sam, my brother, her husband, he was a very big problem child, and he got spanked more times than we could count combined. And so it was something that, like, maybe he could have used a harsher punishment and I could have used a lighter punishment. I was often more just like sent to my room, and that was enough. I would go and cry in my bed and wish that I never did what I did. And it's really situational, I think. And it's knowing your child and knowing, like, what do they actually need to learn their lesson.
It's also ages, too.
It's
Different
ages,
people,
yeah.
Because, like, there's a too young and there's a too old.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is the too old? Obviously, this is
Maybe
like,
puberty?
yeah, but like obviously, there's you have to account for your child, which
True.
everything that we say, you have to account for your child. But like, what is the what do you guys think is like the cutoff for spanking?
My philosophy is just going to be quick and sweet. My philosophy is spank them, and then when they hit puberty, it will be so embarrassing for them that they're not going to want to do anything wrong ever again. I mean, I don't know how true that is to me or, like, if I'm going to follow it, but I've definitely thought that, being like, if they're, like, 11 years old and they're just like, Mom, it's too old for you to do this. That's too bad. You shouldn't have done something wrong.
Yeah.
They're going to hate it.
I think honestly, spanking should be saved for children under 10.
I would say that that's a good kind of thing. But also, like, as the kid gets older, once they mature and have a really a understanding of sin, understanding of self, then and like knowing, okay, I'm not really a little kid anymore. Like my sister Maggie, she's 9, she's turning 10 in a few days, but she's like very she's like, I really wish I was a kid again. Like, I'm growing up. Like, she understands deep thought. She's like, you can tell she's gotten to that point where she is growing up and she's not just a little kid anymore. And that happened like a year and a half ago, but it was just like, okay, like she's growing up. She needs to understand these things. There's going to be like, it's not going to be a spanking that's a consequence, but it's going to be something more real and more like, oh, we're going to take away an iPad or something, like take away a nightlight. I don't know, just something like that she wants and values, because it's like, no, you did something wrong. Or like grounding. I didn't really get grounded, but
Because once you have like priorities in life, like if I had a phone and my parents said, "Would you rather your phone get taken away or for you to get a spanking?" I would probably go with the spanking.
Right. That is another thing to think about, because like spanking did not work on me. And my parents spanked me a lot. And like for stupid stuff too that they shouldn't have. But like I don't know. I had a Nintendo 3DS when I was a kid, and if you took that away from me, my life basically would have ended. And so like you really have to
You're still like that.
shut up. But you really have to take into account what works with your child, which we've said about 4 times this podcast. So
it's all depending on the child.
Speaking of which, when are your kids getting phones? Social media.
Oh gosh, never.
I didn't get a phone until I was like almost 17, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah.
But I do wish that I had something. I had nothing. I did have my Nintendo 3DS, which was wait. It was taken away from me so much that I literally probably only had it for a couple months of my life. So like I didn't actually have it, but like I don't think that you should give your child a phone, but I think that they should have something. Like I'm excited. I feel like you guys are going to disagree with me on this, but I'm excited to get my like teenagers like an Xbox so that like we can all game together as a family, you know?
That's the cutest thing ever,
is
but
really
also I would never do that.
Yeah,
I would say flip phone. I'm a big fan of the flip phone.
Well, there's also the Gab phone, which is something that my sister has and Sam has, where it's like it's only text and like call and then pictures and maybe some music.
Yeah.
Like, and
that's perfect.
Yeah. I'm thinking when my kids are young, maybe when they hit that like 14, 15, when they're going and hanging out with friends and like they're out without adults, like that's like, here's a Gab phone. And then they don't like, and then, when they have their license, they still will have that. Like you're going to be fine. Maybe they'll just get like cellular or whatever to them so that they can call me if they're in the middle of nowhere. And then when they're 18, they make their own decisions.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with my kid going out and like hanging out with friends or going to the mall or whatever and not having a way to text me
Right.
Yeah.
or a way for me to track them.
Right. If they're
So
not
it's-
with an adult.
Right.
Too.
So
Yeah.
it's tough because it's like you have to give them something. You just have to really limit what they have access to. Like obviously my kids will not have access to any social media for like until they're significantly older.
Social media.
The web is not happening.
Yeah.
No internet access by yourself. No.
But-
We're going to have like a room dedicated to, this is where every electronic's going to stay and it needs to be in the open, and all of them are going to be shut off at like a certain time of the day. And it's, you only can use it for like an hour, and you have, or like maybe even not even, it's a privilege to use it.
So then what age do you think that you would like let your kid have their phone in their room with them?
I still don't.
Really?
And it's not a rule. Like, somehow, you know what? It's still a mystery to me. Somehow, I don't have any rules, and I never had. Somehow, Dad presents things to me as they are strong suggestions, and there's absolutely no way in heck that I would ever go against his strong suggestion. But just because he has that, I have that much respect and reverence for him, because I would never do, like, he tells me, he's like, it's just not smart. I don't, like, it's not smart. It's not, the waves going in your head anyway, because it's like Wi-Fi signals, but also it's, you need to sleep. You don't need to be on your phone, and I don't get to, you don't know what rabbit holes you're going to go down. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even think it's a rule anymore, but somehow, it's just now a habit. I have no want to have it in my room. I leave it on the counter every night before I go to bed. Why are you staring at me like that?
I'm just really impressed.
Yeah.
You've had your phone in your room, but you don't, like, it's not.
Oh, I can have it in my room, but when I'm going to bed, I leave it downstairs.
Yeah. I think for my kids, they're not going to have their phones in their room until they're very old.
Are
And
we-
also
are we
depending on
different?
the kids.
I might be different. It depends on the kid.
It really depends on
Yeah.
the kid.
Like,
'cause-
if my kid is a sneaky little rat who wants to, like,
No phone for you. No hanging out with friends. You're not going anywhere without me.
No food,
So-
no shower.
not.
No bed.
This is lore, guys. Lily lore. Okay, hold on. I need to say something. I don't think I would give my child a normal phone, until they have proven to me that they deserve it.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay.
that there's going to be a specific time for each child.
Yeah.
I want to say you can earn it. Live like you're going to be responsible enough to have that privilege. And then we'll see. Because like, not every kid deserves a phone at 16. Not every kid deserves a driver's license at 16.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to whenever they start going out of the house and being with people away from me, then they'll get a gab phone where they can do absolutely nothing but call and text. But then a real phone and social media is going to be solely based on when they've earned the privilege.
You're so right, because like if I had a kid that was like you at 16, I would trust them.
Yeah.
And I would
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
them social media and whatever, like, because I would trust you. If it was some other kids, I probably
Like your husband.
It's so
Yep.
tough. It's so tough for me to, like, decide on this, because I felt so isolated as a kid because I wasn't allowed anything. Like, I had no way to contact any of my friends. I was in and out of public school, so like I had friends, but like when they pulled me out of school, I had no way to stay in touch with them. And so like it's tough because I want to make sure that like my kids are being monitored and they don't have access to the internet, but also that they do have access to stay in touch with their friends. And like that's just so
That'll be easy because
important.
we'll be living on a compound.
This is true.
We'll
Although
get into
also-
that later.
Yeah. Also, but like if you're, we're all going to probably pursue the homeschooling kind of area, whether it's co-op or not. It's just kind of we're going to go down that road rather than private or public school. But that way, like staying in contact with friends, it'll be, you're going to want to do that
Yeah.
because you're not going to be with them all the time. Do it.
I would say yes. I don't want them to feel excluded, but I want to make my house so open that my kids are like, I would rather just invite them over and hang out with them than need to
Text
keep
or-
up with
yeah.
them on
I
social
agree.
media.
Yeah.
And I think with you and Jordan, because you both are callers, you're not really texters, you're very much in-person people.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to follow it because
I-
they're going to watch it and just follow right after
Our
you
kids are
guys.
going to be like, my mom forgot to text me back. I don't know how to text.
What, texting?
Is my mom alive? She doesn't text
What is
me
texting?
anymore.
Hey, YouTube. One of the biggest things about me and my husband is we suck at responding to people, and it's awful.
Sometimes you think they hate you, but they just don't know how to text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then we show up, and then I jump into Bella's arms, and she's like, oh, so you're alive and you actually like me.
Right. Literally. Honestly, that's happened.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have an open home and you let their friends come over and hang out and host, and you're that family that everybody loves, they won't feel a need to.
Yeah, that's
Whatever.
another thing that I want to do for my kids is exactly that. Like, we had a household where, like, people weren't allowed to come over.
Really?
Like, friends weren't allowed to come over. And if they, on the very, very rare occasion that people did come over, the house had to be, like,
Pristine.
Spotless.
Yeah. That was
Whoa.
my family.
I get it.
I want to create a healthy, happy house where, like, it's welcoming to people.
Yeah.
Like, you can have friends over. Like, we have a game room with, like, a bunch of Xboxes and stuff. Like, you can have friends over. Like, that
You're
should
gonna be
a
such
no-
a cool mom.
I hope so.
You are.
But, like, I want to have, like, I want people to be like, yes, like, let's go over to your house. Like, your house is so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I want the doors to be open because I never had that as a kid. And so that, I would never want that for my kids.
Yeah.
And like about the whole cleaning thing, my house will be clean, but also it can look lived in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There can be a couple dishes in the sink.
There
Yeah,
can be
yeah, yeah.
toys on the floor. There can be,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to look pristine. And
It can be jolly fur on the couches.
Yeah.
everybody loves a good little puppy. You know what I mean?
With my dad, it was always, if people are coming over, this house is getting cleaned and like it needs to be clean. And it wasn't like a people can't come over. It's just we need to clean if that's the case.
And I get it. And of
Yeah.
course, like, I want my house to be clean. And I'm like that
Right.
now, where, like, if people are coming over, like,
I
Kyle
want
and
it to
we have
look
to clean
neat.
up.
Yeah.
Right. And I almost have to, I almost have to train myself out of, like, Lily, like, there can be a couple dishes in the sink. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there can be a couple things on the table in the living. Like,
Mhm.
it's fine.
Yeah.
But I took that from my mom, where, like, everything has to be perfect.
No.
And it
'Cause then
doesn't.
you just are giving a fake like, oh, we're perfect, everything's great
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah, we're
just-
not
Yep.
perfect.
yeah, no.
Bouncing off that, everybody can attest to this in this room. I cannot use anything, take anything, grab any food without asking permission. I mean, even when it comes down to water, I can't do it. I need to ask people because that's how I grew up, having to ask
Mhm.
for things in my own house. And any person that walks through my door, I want them to know that they can use whatever, eat whatever, drink whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
What's mine is yours if you
Yeah.
step into my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really important.
I think in your preparing to be that kind of mother and hostess, you need to stop asking for things. Literally right before this podcast, Bella, do you have a hairbrush? Yes, I have a hairbrush. Can I borrow your hairbrush and your mascara, and can I have some water?
The cherries in the fridge.
Oh yeah, the cherries. Can I eat
It's
your cherries?
fine.
Of course.
It's
You've been in
fine
this
to
house a
know,
million
like, it
times.
was
Totally
people-
fine. Well, yeah, with
With
different
people you're not close
Right.
with.
Right.
But she's been in this house a
yeah.
million times, and we always tell her
But
walking.
hey, and we
don't matter.
always
I
it's
was-
great.
honestly.
I was panicking because I had to bring my dog over, and I didn't know until like an hour before I left the house this morning. I started panicking to my husband, like, oh my God, like, what if I can't bring them over? Like, what if they don't want the dog over right now? What if they say no? What am I supposed to do? Should I leave her in the car? Should I take her out on a walk? Should I not? I was panicking. And then I showed up, and he was like, why are you still doubting us? And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Mm,
But
Of course, Jolly, the puppy, is always welcome,
always.
and you too.
Except
oh,
Like, you're welcome.
the big reveal
Oh, the big reveal.
about who's pregnant.
I hope everybody has dropped in the comments what their guesses are, who they think is pregnant.
Wait, give them 5 seconds to comment. Go.
Okay.
5,
Four,
3, 2,
one.
1. Drum roll, please. Our pregnant lady is Elizabeth.
Yay! Congratulations. How far along are you right now?
8 weeks, 3 days.
And when this comes out, it will be like a lot more than that.
September.
Like 3 or 4 months along.
Big. I'll be.
She will be showing by the time this
I will
comes
be
out.
I'll be
We're a
second
little
trimester or
different on schedule, but yay! So exciting. We're so excited to be aunties to
Yes.
this baby.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so.
Auntie Jess, Auntie Lily,
Little baby's gonna be running around, whether it's a boy or girl. If it's girl, girls bouncing, running up and hugging you. Girls, if it's a boy, they'll be playing around, kicking things, throwing shoes. You know what boys do.
So excited for baby Mealy.
Sniffing pits or whatever they do.
Sniffing pants.
Pits.
Sniffing pits. What? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We hope you have a great day. See you next time.
We love you. Jesus loves you.
'Cause I love it, yeah, yeah.
Do 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 do.
Hey, I'm good.
Do do do.
Somebody's pregnant.